welcome to Truckers USA American. My name is Miguel Reynoso. Fox, California has done it again. California Governor Gavin Newsom later this week brought a piece of legislation that would have or require a human driver in any autonomous trucks that weighs over 10,000 pounds on any state highway. Newsom basically voted for the Bill 316, and this is being seen as a victory for the autonomous vehicle industry, much of which of us, or based on California. Basically, most of these autonomous companies are operating in California right now, and this is seen as a slap in the face to the Teamster union workers. Teamster basically had a truckers convoy on Sacramento last week, asking Governor Newsom not to basically sign the bill, but the bill was signed, and they say that they're gonna require a truck driver or a human person or a human truck driver. That's the way they describe it here. Said that any vehicle that weighs over 10,000 pounds that is being operated by a robot is gonna have to have a human truck driver inside the cab. But the thing is like, you guys know that this is just temporarily until they can see that that technology is 100% safe, and then after that the plan is basically get rid of the truck drivers, because that's what they've been trying to do for a long time. They're trying to get rid of us because to the big trucking companies we become basically a problem, because we complain because we're not getting enough pay, home time, and basically you want to be with your family. And if these big companies basically get the autonomous truck, basically a robot pilot, that truck is going to be running 24/7, and the robot's not going to ask for home time, and the robot not going to have to shut down for 10 hours. And it's not a secret that the big trucking companies, they keep complaining that they had shortage of drivers because nobody wants to go work for them. So, and the idea with these autonomous trucks is basically get rid of us, plain and simple. And there's also a lot of concerns about the autonomous truck, because that's going to take a lot of jobs from people, especially truck drivers. There's a lot of California Trucker Association saying that this bill is not fair, because these robot pilots are going to be taking jobs from the truck drivers. But the thing is like, remember, it doesn't matter how many convoys and boycotts you do. These people are not going to listen to us. They basically want to get rid of us because which is basically a problem to them, because we need home time, we need more pay, and this is the better. And I think this is the best solution they can get a robot pilot on those trucks and don't have to deal with any human. It's gonna be complaining and quitting and asking for more money, and But this is a victory for the autonomous industry, because now they have green light on the state of California to keep testing and trying to make the technology safe. But on the other hand, there's a lot of concerns about safety with this autonomous truck, because remember, it's a robot, And the number one reason they want a human inside the cab is because they know that anything happens, that somebody's gonna be there and might be able to stop the truck. But the other thing is, like, when they perfect, that technology, then they're not gonna need us. Basically, right now they want us to be inside the truck while he's operating by a robot pilot, just in case. The other thing I see is, like, if something happens, let's just say this guy or whoever's inside the truck is not going to be able to, do anything or stop the vehicle when, those computers and sensors malfunction, they're going to try to blame the driver, like always, But, and it says here that during the rally on Tuesday, September 19th, Teamster member and other trucking association, they basically was opposed to the bill while calling Newsom not to sign the bill, and basically he ended up signing the bill. And unfortunately, it's nothing that we can do, nothing that nobody can do, because the bill is already signed, and these people give green light to the autonomous people that basically doing that technology. And this also saying that if Governor Newsom chooses not to do the right thing, he's sending a message to the California workers, basically that we're not working for you, which is basically working for the technology companies. That's the way a lot of people see it. And the government says that this technology will create a lot of jobs and will improve safety on the highways of California and hopefully in the nation highways. Again, this is combined with all the big trucking companies and all those big, electronic manufacturing cars and all that stuff, because they want to push this technology. Okay, remember, these autonomous trucks, they're not going to shut down. They're not going to need 10-hour breaks. I mean, they're not going to ask for home time. None of that. So basically, this what they want. Because remember, the problem in this industry is that most of the big trucking companies, they killing each other with the freight, the cheapest they can get it. Now, if they get autonomous robots or autonomous trucks that are operated by robots, they can move the freight the cheapest they can, because they're not going to have, driver payroll, because they're not going to pay, the drivers, and they only had to maintenance, and they still had to maintenance the truck otherwise. But then they're going to cut off the fuel, because remember, if they get electronic trucks, because they're trying to push that technology also. Now, the truck combines with the robot pilot and electronic truck, then the way the big trucking companies look at it is like, well, we're gonna get rid of driver payroll and fuel costs, because that's the biggest expenses the big trucking company has. Plus, we're not gonna have a problem getting drivers, because remember, they always complain that they don't have enough drivers, and nobody wants to work for them. And right now, they basically they're trying to look for a solution to get rid of us, basically. It's because we complain too much, and they don't want that, basically. So, but that's the situation that it's been happening. It's been going around, and to me, like, okay, they want to have, like this article says, that they want to have a human inside the truck while operating on the state of California. But I don't know if they're trying to fool us with that, because hey, you cannot fool us with that, because we know that the moment this guy find out that the technology is safe and they're not gonna need us, that's it. We're all gone. We're done. Okay. And remember, some of these big trucking companies, right now, some of them, they had the funds to little by little, you know, trying to get that technology. And then it's gonna be a big investment, but at the long run, they're gonna win because they're gonna get they're gonna be able to move the freight for whatever prices they want, or for whatever prices the cheaper want to pay. Because remember, it's not just the trucking companies; it's also the cheaper. The cheaper is always gonna try to look for a way to ship whatever they have, or whatever they sell for for less prices. I mean, the cheaper they can get it, the better, And then if these companies start getting these autonomous trucks, right, and putting this truck on the road, that's mean they're gonna be able to afford to move this load for $1 a mile, and they don't have to pay, no truck driver, and they don't have to pay for fuel because these trucks are gonna be electronics. So, little by little, the way I see it is, a strategic to little by little cut us off. That's it. But I mean, I know we be complaining that that's gonna be crazy. They're not gonna be able to get rid of vans because there's too much freight to move all over the country. But let me put it this way: if they can, if some of these big trucking companies, and some of these companies that basically creating this technology, if they can get rid of, let's say 30% of the truck drivers by 2027, or let's say 2030, that's a win to them. Because now they're cutting, expenses. They investing a huge amount of money. Let's just say the robo pilot and the truck costing, let's say $1 million, and you'll be like, well, that's a lot of money. But the thing is like, at the long run, they're gonna make the money, and they're not gonna have that headache of trying to look for a driver. Okay, and see, the way is that they're gonna eliminate recruiter, because they have to pay a recruiter to get a driver, and if they're paying sign-on bonus, I don't think nobody paying sign-on bonus. There's a lot of money they're gonna save with these trucks, and I mean, if they had the money to invest, of course they're gonna do it. Plus, now they had some politicians, basically endorsing this technology, and nothing can stop them. Nothing gonna be able to stop these people now. So my best suggestion that I can tell anybody is like, trying to see what else you can do, because I would say by 20, because some state like California, by 2042 they don't want diesel vehicle on the state, and then they were trying to look for another alternative, because they knew it is crazy and it's not going to be able to happen. But by 2042 I don't think I'm going to be able to drive, because I'm going to be too old anyway. But the new drivers, the young guys that are coming in this industry, my best suggestion, or my best advice that I can give you, is trying to look for something else, because do not rely on the trucking industry, because this industry is going to disappear, and it's going to be way different than it is right now. They're not going to need a human pilot operating the trucks. It's going to be a robot. That truck is going to be operating by himself. They're not going to need us. So that is the best advice that I can give the young guys that are coming on this industry. Because, and another thing is, like, there was another piece of article released by the FNCSA, and it says that the Department of Transportation and the Federal Road Safety Administration announced that it will award approximately $48 million in grant funded to increase commercial driver's license training and more opportunity for the veterans. Remember, I talked about this before. I know a lot of veterans out there that went into some of these driving school and training facility, and they end up paying, or they sell it to a big trucking company when they're not supposed to pay anything out of the pocket or sign any contract. But now they got another $48 million to basically train not just the veterans, but it's specifically more for the veterans, but anybody that wants to become a truck driver. They had these phones set out, like, and also this is to increase driver safety and all that kind of stuff. Okay, now my opinion is like, why the government is giving this institution and this truck driving school all this money if they're trying to get rid of us? It doesn't make any sense, because if like the state of California is basically allowing these robotic companies that making this autonomous technology to operate in the state, little by little all the states are gonna copy. And when they made this technology 100% safe, it's gonna be nationwide. So I don't see the point of the government giving these places money to train anybody to become a truck driver, when the industry that we know right now, little by little, is going to disappear. The semi truck is not going to need a truck driver. It's not going to need a human pilot. It's going to be a robot pilot, because it's going to be cheaper. I mean, it's going to be more convenience for the trucking industry or for the trucking companies, because like that they don't have to deal with whatever the stuff they're complaining that they have shortage of drivers and not enough drivers. Okay, if this is my personal opinion, if they want to do something, well, trying to see if you can put the money somewhere else so that these young guys can go to school or whatever, do something else, because trucking industry is going to disappear to a point that they're not going to need a human pilot operating those semi trucks. Okay, maybe doing local deliveries and local pickups, maybe, but they're even trying to push that, so let me put it this way: they're looking for the way they get rid of the over the road stuff, but little by little they're also going to try and get rid of the local stuff, whatever the deliveries and pickups and all that stuff. They're going to try and get rid of that too, so they don't have to pay nobody to do that. Okay, because if they have a robot pilot up there for 5 years, we're now stopping running 24/7, only giving them maintenance. They have to maintenance the truck anyway, right? And I don't know how's the deal with the electronic trucks. I mean, I don't know I don't know anything about that technology, but I don't know if that technology is going to be a high maintenance of like a diesel truck. Maybe not. Remember, it's a electronic truck. It might not require all the maintenance that a diesel truck is going to need. But this is the thing: if you can do something else, and I know some of you guys gonna slide me down because I'm saying this. Look, right now, become a truck driver, to become in this industry is not profitable. Because if they're trying to change all this, and replace us, then what's the point of getting a CDL Class A? Because there's going to be a time that you're not going to be able to find any job, because most of these big trucking companies, they're going to invest in these autonomous trucks and robo pilots, and they're not going to need us. You can probably submit the application, but if they have that technology, and that technology is working 100% for them, safe, like some of these guys claiming that, I think there was a guy that says, I don't remember his name. He was saying that last year over 5,000 deaths was caused by human truck drivers, and the technology that they have, okay, is not going to make that error, and that is not going to be all that fatalities in the highway. I mean, they haven't proven, that the technology is 100% safe. Maybe they're going to say that so because they want to sell their products. But the reality is they know that that technology is not safe. This is why California, if you're gonna have one of those autonomous trucks on the highway, you need to have a truck driver inside the car, because they know that something's gonna happen, especially with rains, snow, weather condition, any type of situation. Plus, these trucks, they basically run with sensors, and most of the highways on the country are messed up. I mean, those trucks are not going to be able to follow, those lanes, because if you're going to some highways, some of these highways have like maybe 6, 7. You don't know exactly which one is the lane that you're supposed to be in, because they have a lot of different lanes, painted on the highway. And you guys know what I'm talking about. So just imagine a robot-pilot that has to follow all those lines with a sensor, and it get to the point that they have like 6 different type of lanes, and you don't know which one is the lane that you're supposed to be in. And that's going to create an accident, because this is the way I'm thinking. That robot pilot is not going to know where he's going to go. But there's a lot of situation right now for those autonomous trucks. They are not safe to be in the highway. I know they want to push that technology because they want to sell it, and little by little they're getting help from the government, and they're getting it. Remember, this technology is pushed by these billionaire guys, and they're gonna get away with it because that's that way they see it. That's the future. So, and just imagine, let's just say you not get approved, for the government funding or whatever government program that is up there for you to get your CDL driver's license, and then you end up paying $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, whatever they're charging right now, and you made that investment. Now you're working for a trucking company. You're not making any money because the reason they complain too much that they have shortage of drivers because they're not paying. And then they start getting all these autonomous trucks with those robo-pilots. Let's just say the company has a fleet of 2,000 trucks, and now they have 1,500 autonomous trucks. They only have 500 truck drivers on the fleet. What makes you think you're going to be able to keep your job? Because if they see that it's more profitable getting this autonomous truck, they're going to get rid of all those 500 truck drivers, and then they're going to bring more autonomous trucks. So little by little, it's going to create a problem, So like I said before, my best suggestion that I can tell you guys is like trying to do something else. That's my personal opinion. That's the way I see it. Don't invest $6,000 on a CDL Class A, because you're not going to get that money back. Okay? Right now, the trucking industry for the truck drivers is basically done. I'm not so much, you guys be like, well, I'm still making money. I'm glad you're still making money, but there's going to be a point that you're not going to make any money. Remember that. So, and it's like this new proposal. I think I talked about this before. They want to increase the weight limit to 91,000 pounds. Okay? And they want to increase the length of the trailer to 57. Okay? Now they want to have a bigger vehicle hauling 91,000 pounds. Now they want to increase 11,000 pounds more, which is crazy, because this is what some of these local agencies and local governments are basically complaining. And some of them, I think it was like 1,500 of them, they sign a letter with their names, and they send it to the House of Representatives saying, please do not pass that, because that's going to damage our road, that's going to damage our bridges. Remember, some of these bridges are too old, and they're not going to be able to hold this truck going in the daily basis carrying 91,000 pounds. That's going to damage the infrastructure of the city, and it's going to damage the city highways and the local roads. And some places you go with a 48 footer, not even a 53, with a 48 footer, and it's hard for you to make that turn. Just imagine with a 57. And some of you guys I know will be like, it's only 4 feet. It's only 4 feet on the trailer, but to hold 91,000 pounds. Remember, the semi trucks right now, they're not designed to hold 91,000 pounds. They're designed to hold 80,000 pounds. So that means you're gonna have to put an extra axle on the trailer and your truck, so your truck can be able to hold that pound, right? And then that's gonna cost you more money. Plus, you're not gonna be able to get into some cities with that trailer, because it's gonna be hard for you to make that turn. And if you go into that city, there is a 99% chance that you're gonna break something on that city, and that's gonna cost you money, because that's gonna be on you. So, but the way they're trying to change this industry, okay, they want to change it too rapidly, and the ones are gonna get hurt is gonna be us, the truck drivers, because I see a report in, I think it's some of the Scania trucks in Europe. Some of these trucks now they come in with a control that you basically can you can run this truck like it was a toy. When you buy one of those toys, it has a remote control, and you basically like that. So, like I said before, if you know somebody, or you want to leave whatever job you have right now and become in the trucking industry, don't do that. Just don't do it. This industry is gonna disappear completely. The industry is gonna be there, because they're gonna need trucks to carry whatever we eat and whatever we use, but not for you to come and work in this industry, because they're gonna replace us. The idea is to replace the truck driver, because we're complaining too much. And when companies like the big companies, seeing that they have a lot of complaints, and they cannot provide the service to their customers because they have the lack of drivers, they're gonna look for a solution. And right now the solution is autonomous trucks, and basically get rid of us completely. So I know it is hard to believe, but unfortunately that technology is here. That technology is too new. They don't need us they need us right now. Right now they need us, but I'm telling you, 5, I would say 10 more years, I would say 80% of us are going to be gone. They're not going to need us. If you have a CDL Class A, 10 years from now, they're not going to need you. They're just not going to need you. So, plus, I don't even know why you want to have a CDL class driver, because the way this industry is going, you're not making any money. You basically, if you're on the road, you basically messing up your life, because you have no personal life. So, but that's the way this industry is going to change. Nothing we can do about it, because I guess we become a problem for this industry, because we want to go home, we want to spend time with our family, So that's the reality of this situation, and again, not a good decision to become in the trucking industry, because they're gonna get rid of us, and then it's nothing we can do, and boom. So But it is like I say before. They're always looking, for a way to get rid of us, and they got it. I mean, technology is not 100%, but they got it. Now, another article that was basically released says that a new study found some of the U.S. states they basically have the most road range. I mean, Arizona is basically, who doesn't know that Arizona, California, that's basically the worst place for road range. So, and I know people in California, they basically, and in Arizona, they basically kill each other just for a road range because, some people are just like that. Some people just cannot take it. Some people just hate when you call them, just like that guy. I think it was in Illinois. That I think was a soda guy. It's like one of those guys that basically distribute sodas all over the city. Just caught him off, and he shoot him. And he shoot the guy, and then when he called the police, he was basically giving the excuse of why he shooting. That he just these guys look. There's no excuse, But California, Arizona, you gotta be a Texas. Texas is another state. They have a lot of road range, a lot. West Virginia, West Virginia is also Virginia, Oklahoma, Alabama, Connecticut. I was just mentioning Illinois, Texas, Ohio. The one that surprised me is Rhode Island. I wasn't expecting Rhode Island to be a road range state because I don't see, but it is here. So, and some of the state that you don't have that many road ranges like Montana, Washington State, Oregon, Idaho, the northwestern state. And reason is because there's not a lot of traffic up there, especially Montana, Oregon. The only place in Oregon that you might find a lot of heavy traffic is Portland. Portland, and then Seattle might be like, I don't know, Seattle area, that's it. But other than that, and then Montana, the only place you're gonna have a little bit of traffic in Montana is Billing, and it's because they're basically fixing the highway. But other than that, in Montana, Montana is an open country, basically, There's not, there's not a lot of traffic up there. So, same thing like South Dakota, North Dakota. Those places you're not going to find, a lot of traffic because, there's not a lot of people that live up there. But places like Arizona, Texas, California. I don't even know why Alabama was there because I don't even know why Alabama has them. But hey, whoever did this survey and released the article was basically, looking at the people and all that stuff. So, but that's what's going on. Because you got to be careful in some places when you're driving because I know Tennessee. I don't know why Tennessee is not here, but I remember there was a guy in Tennessee on I-24, and he was throwing basically, I think it was like a big piece of nail, the one that they use on the railroad tracks. He was throwing those pieces of nail to truck drivers so he can blow up his steering tire, so he can create an accident. I don't know if they caught that guy, but I know he basically did that to a couple of drivers. So, and I don't know why Tennessee is not here because, believe it or not, Tennessee is around Knoxville, Nashville, and Memphis. You can get into a road range around those places easily. So, and I know because I went through some of that with some guys. So it's not like I'm making it up because when I was working with a refrigerator company, I remember I went to pick up a low in this place, and I was basically getting out, and remember it's a semi truck, The truck does not move like a car. I was getting out of the parking lot. I don't even see the guy. I guess he was coming too fast, and whatever happens, then he basically cut in front of me, pulling the finger and hitting his brake, trying to make me like hitting in the back and all that stuff. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? So if I would be another type of person, then I'll probably like, I don't know, do something stupid, because that's the thing is like these guys think like most of the guys that are driving these trucks are not gonna do anything. And believe me, you don't know the situation this guy is running into. This guy might have a lot of problems at home, at work. He's not making the money. The guy is frustrated, losing a lot of his stuff because he's not making the money. And then you're gonna come and cut him his, in front of him, trying to, pick up a fight with the guy. And maybe the guy is all the way up to his neck, and he said, that's it. Whatever frustration I have, I'm gonna, take it on this guy. Or maybe it might be the other way around. Maybe the guy went and confronted the guy, and he, got hurt from this other guy. But it is a stupid situation, But that's the way these days is. I mean, I don't see the point of like you fighting with somebody because he basically caught in front of you, or especially in a semi truck. Because remember, that vehicle is loaded. That vehicle is not gonna move like a car. So then you have to have common sense, because if it's not moving faster, because the vehicle is not gonna move fast. The vehicle is not designed to take off like a car. So, and I don't see the point of you having a road range for something like that, or pick up a fight with somebody because you think the guy is blocking you on purpose. It's just like, I seen this, and because this also happens to me. You going up in a hill, right? Remember, if you got 45,000 pounds and you going up in a hill like Montego and I-24 in Tennessee, if you're going up in the hill, there's no way you're gonna do more than 35 miles an hour. And I'm talking, if you're doing 35 miles an hour with 45,000 pounds, you're going fast. So, I mean, you don't have to be a truck driver to figure it out. Just like, oh, this guy, has a semi truck. I mean, this thing is loaded. That thing is not gonna go up in a hill like I do because I have a car. And I know some of you guys are like, yeah, but I seen some of this truck going up in a hill at 55 miles an hour. Of course, he's empty. He doesn't have any load inside. Okay, if he's empty, yeah, he's gonna have the power to go up there. Remember, he has some engine that has 450 horsepower, 550 horsepower, depending on the engine, going up in the hill. And of course, remember that vehicle is designed to pull weight. Now with 45,000 pounds, there's no way that thing is gonna go faster than 35 miles an hour. So this is a situation that doesn't make any sense. And again, a lot of people, because of that, get hurt or do something stupid, because believe it or not, we're not supposed to have any weapons on the semi truck. It's illegal. But believe me, there's a lot of truck drivers up there that they carry guns, and if you mess with them, especially if he has a bad day or been having a rough moment for a couple of months, and you come out with a kind of stupid stuff, he's not gonna hold back. And just think about it. That's a situation that you create because you think this guy is holding you back. But unnecessary stuff. Remember, a semi truck do not move like a car. Maybe in the highway and the long run, when it takes it's on the highway and it takes impulse and it's doing 55, 60, 70 miles an hour. But remember, when that vehicle comes to a complete stop and it's taking off, he has no power, especially if he's loaded. So, but I don't see the point of having a road range on the highway just for something so stupid, But it's always gonna be stupid people up there that ready to do some stupid stuff. So, well, folks, that's all I got for today. I talk to you guys in the next podcast. Be safe out there. Don't work too hard if you're not getting paid. And I hope you guys get home safe. And God bless you. Goodbye.